Good evening and welcome to the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. My name is Nick, call signs KN6DAL. I'm tonight's coordinator. I want to wish everybody a safe and happy Thanksgiving. First and foremost, we want to thank the owners and supporters of the W6VVR repeater and the Vacaville Radio Club. Also the FreeSTAR Network for the use of their repeaters and digital connections. And then a big thanks to Mike WG5EK and Greg KN6KIE. Also, Brian KK6BXP for their continued networking efforts. And we'll take a quick break to see if there's any priority traffic or emergency traffic. If there is at any point during the net, you can say break with your call sign and we will clear the frequency for you. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time?
I heard a key up.
Yeah, me too.
Ask one more time.
I did hear a quick key up. If anybody has any priority emergency traffic, come on in at this time. I need to put FreeSTAR, or I'm sorry, Mountain West in that
Bottom thing?
supporters in the top part. It's in the bottom.
Oh, yeah. I have a updated version for you.
All right, nothing being heard. The 2 Meter Crew is not an actual club. We're just a group of hams that are learning and enjoying all things ham related. There are no dues or fees to be a 2 Meter Crew member. For more information, you can visit us at our website at www.2metercrew.net, and you can join our our Discord group. There's links in the description in YouTube for that. If anybody wants to join, and we'll post those throughout the night. This is an open net. Everybody's welcome. Please feel free to join in. The 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net meets every Wednesday at 8 p.m., and that's 3 a.m. UTC on the W6VVR repeater. We also have a number of different digital connections. Echolink at W6VVR-R, Allstar node 51094 and 512342, DMR talk group 3174117, YSF reflector 50462, FreeSTAR Allstar links 2195 and 53377. Also through Mountain West, P25 and DMR talk groups 31062.
Check the chat.
Hang on just 2 seconds. All right. Last but not least, the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net is also streaming live on Northwest Ham Shack on YouTube. Please like and subscribe, and you can get notifications on when we go live. Do we have any stations that have never checked in with us before, or any new operators out there that maybe just got their license? Maybe you just upgraded your license. If that's you, come on in now.
KB6 DOG, Bruce and Antelope.
Links in chat.
All right, I think I got that. Was that Kilo Victor 6 Delta Oscar? I didn't get the last end of your suffix, sorry. Was it G?
Kilo Bravo 6 Delta Oscar Golf.
All right, Bruce, thanks for checking in. How's your evening going, and what are your plans for Thanksgiving?
Eating is going okay. Just watching a little TV and going over to my daughter-in-law's for Thanksgiving tomorrow across town.
Well, that sounds awesome. I was trying to think where I saw that call sign. I think you just recently joined the Vacaville Radio Club. Is that right?
Yeah, for yesterday. Yeah. I checked in last night on the net.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually reached out to you by email, so if you get a chance to check your email, and I left my phone number with you if you have any questions or anything, we're happy to get you linked up with anybody, and appreciate you joining that. And it's cool to see you out here, so I appreciate that, and I hope you have an awesome Thanksgiving. Let's see who else we got out there. Any other check-ins? Come on in now.
I'll give a check-in. Right there in studio. So if there's anybody watching the YouTube stream, you can see I'm not talking into a radio or that microphone. I'm coming in on my phone. K7 CBL.
All right, thanks for the check-in, Connor. Yeah, it's pretty cool what we can do with technology now. It was wild watching that because the delay didn't match up with your video, and I'm watching your video like instantaneously. But yeah, the digital connections are all accessible through phone. If you're looking for any way to get connected where you don't have a radio, or you don't have a radio that's capable of doing any digital connections, hook up with us after the Anti-Net, or join our Discord and ask some questions. We can get you set up with some different ways that you can test out different parts of the hobby. So thanks for that, Connor. Who else we got out there? VVR's out there.
Yeah, we got a straggler.
And it looks like this is Nick KN6DAL. It looks like Frank, he's giving you some heat there in YouTube. So just a heads up. All right, Nick KN6DAL, looking for any and all check-ins. Come on in now.
This is KN6 ETB.
Oh man, KN6 ETB. You know, every time I hear you come on, your your voice is like another octave higher, so I think you're regressing a little bit. But Kellen, what's happening tonight? How are you doing?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's always good to hear you guys on the net. I just got done slinging some 18 yards of AV in the backyard, system trailer space, and just acquired me a new to me CJ7. So that's what I'll be doing over the Thanksgiving weekend, and maybe catching the occasional HF contact. But other than that, happy holidays.
Yeah, thanks, Kellen. I hope you have an awesome Thanksgiving. And I saw pictures on Facebook of that Jeep, and it's definitely new to you. It is not new to the world, so I'm excited to see what you make of that. That'll be exciting. Hope you and your family stay safe, and I appreciate the check-in. Who else we got out there? Come on in now.
New mode, T6 in LA.
Well, good evening, Frank. I think you said that you were on a new mode. Tell us all about it.
You can thank Mike, WG5EEK, and Connor, K7CBL for this one. I'm coming on P25, but Connor already knew that.
Well, I want to say something mean about P25, but I'm going to be nice and let it go because I'm getting glares from Connor over there. How dare you? How dare you insult the best digital mode ever? Whatever. Well, cool, man. I'm glad you were able to make it in, Frank. What are your plans for Thanksgiving?
Oh, trust me, I was glaring at my YouTube video as much as Connor was glaring at you. Yeah, P25. Now, analog and then P25. Everything else, not so great. As far as Thanksgiving, just going to sit here and chill out. And I'm actually reprogramming my whole DMR fleet.
Well, that can sometimes be a cumbersome endeavor, so good luck with that. I appreciate you checking in tonight, and yeah, you should check out Allstar. It's the king of kings as far as digital modes are concerned, and audio, I say, beats out P25 all day long. KN6DAL for ID. We'll take any check-ins other than Connor because you're not allowed to respond to that. Who else we got out there?
So I'll throw some fire.
All right. I know it's a little bit of a slow night tonight because we got people all over the world kind of doing their thing with the holiday. Let's take a second and go through the history. I set the date for Thanksgiving thinking there was going to be all kinds of really cool history stuff, but I was less than satisfied. But there's a couple of things on here. In 1863, the Union ends the siege of Chattanooga with the Battle of Missionary Ridge. And in 1901, Japanese Prince Ito arrives in Russia to seek concessions in Korea. And on this day in history in 1918, Chile and Peru sever relations. That doesn't sound good. And in 1921, Hirohito becomes regent of Japan.
That's a new identifier.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't catch what the code was.
I didn't either. I was not ready for it.
I'm gonna go back and watch that.
Yeah.
All right. In 1923, the transatlantic broadcasting from England to America commences for the very first time.
We should try to source where that came from.
And in 1946, the U.S. Supreme Court grants the Oregon Indians land payment rights from the U.S. government. In 1947, the Big Four meet to discuss the German and European economy.
Frank says it could have been his hotspot.
In 1955, the Interstate Commerce Commission banned segregation in interstate travel. And in 1963, the body of assassinated President John F. Kennedy is buried at the Arlington National Cemetery. In 1964, 11 nations give a total of $3 billion to rescue the value of the British currency. And the date on here says 2348, so maybe that's a long time from now. But this day has long been asserted by biblical scholars as the day of the Great Deluge or the Great Flood.
Dude, my timing's terrible. Every time I unmuted to say something, you're keyed up.
And that's all we have for history for Thanksgiving Day. If anybody else has any history, feel free to throw it out there. But let's take some more check-ins. Let's see who we got out there. Any check-ins from any mode, come on in now.
Yeah, Frank said it could have been his hotspot, but I don't know if hotspot.
Victor Oscar 1, India Victor, VO1IV, Aaron in Newfoundland, Canada.
Well, thanks for the check-in, Aaron. You sound fantastic. Tell us what mode you're using to come in, and then tell us what your plans are for Thanksgiving.
Okay, good evening, Net Control. Aaron, VO1IV from Newfoundland, Canada. Coming through on a Yaesu FT65 Romeo. It's handheld. Running, it's just analog, UHF, VHF. Coming through the local repeater here in St. John's that I host at my QTH, connected into Allstar, which is in turn connected to FreeSTAR. So that's how I'm coming in. And I believe the American Thanksgiving is coming up, or maybe it's this weekend, I'm not sure. The Canadian Thanksgiving was like a month ago, but yeah, I don't really have much planned.
You know, it's funny when right after I said that, I was like, wait a minute, he's not even in the same country as ours. And so you gave me a little bit of a history lesson. I didn't know that Canada had a Thanksgiving. And maybe that's because I'm an ignorant American, but I had no idea it was a month before. So how do you guys celebrate that? What do you guys do? And I guess maybe tell me a little bit about how the Canadian Thanksgiving works.
Okay, well, the Canadian Thanksgiving was Monday, October 11th, so it's a month and a little bit. But what we usually do is we usually cook up a turkey and have a few people around, get a couple cases of beer and whatever else, some nice whiskey or rum or scotch or whatever, and we all go around and drink a little bit and have some turkey and get all fat. That's about it.
Well, hey, that's awesome. I appreciate you chiming in on that. And yeah, your connection sounds really, really good. So I appreciate you checking in. You're always welcome. And we love it when the Canadian groups have their Allstar links connected. I don't know if it's just your repeater system or if there's multiple other ones, but it's always really fun to hear different people come out. So thanks for checking in with us tonight. And let's see who else we got out there. Any other check-ins? Come on in now.
K5 Delta Charlie.
I think I got K5 Delta Charlie Victor. How are you doing tonight?
Well, it's Kilo 5 Delta Charlie K5 DCC. The name is Denny, located in northwest Arkansas, 25 miles south of Branson, Missouri. and we're on day 3 of celebrating Thanksgiving week here. Have family around, sitting in the living room. Just brought up my FreeSTAR on the iPhone, and I've got a hotspot too. I was looking at my hotspot. It's got a screen on it, and I can see there was activity here on the FreeSTAR Network. So just checking in for the count. Again, the name is Denny. Back to you, K5DCC.
All right, K5DCC, Denny. Well, I appreciate you checking in. We have a friend out there in Northwest Arkansas. I'm curious if maybe that's how you come to know this group, but your audio sounds really good coming in, and it's good to know that you guys take Thanksgiving really seriously and participate all week long. That's always a good way to do it. You know, on Tuesday at my work, I deep fried a turkey for the entire crew, and we had a big kind of potluck turkey feast. So even though I had to work, we were still keeping it in spirit. So I appreciate you checking in with us tonight. I'll give it back to you on your final. Northwest Arkansas is a place where a dear friend of ours in the group here moved to. So I'm curious if you knew Mike, or if you just happened upon a frequency and or a digital connection and caught up with us, or how you found this place. So back to you, Denny. Thanks.
Well, if you would, pass along his call sign and maybe where he moved to. We live in the Omaha area. Omaha is just 5 miles south of the Missouri border. We're out here in the country, though, on 15 acres. And could be a possibility we might know him. We have a lot of friends over there, more further northwest Arkansas. Several hams out there, too. So pass along his call sign if you would.
Yeah, his call sign is WG5EEK, and it was just ironic he just moved to that state, and I don't know exactly what town it is. If anybody remembers that, you can chime in there on the Zoom chat. But he moved out there about 6 months ago, and has been establishing his roots and has done a ton to kind of help our group out, and just thought it was interesting that you guys are kind of from the same neck of the woods.
Well, sorry, I don't recognize that call. But if he is actively looking for groups, he's probably joined one of the clubs that we're familiar with out there in Northwest Arkansas. We're kind of mid-central or north-central in the Northwest, kind of in that section. I guess we're officially considered Northwest Arkansas, so we're probably a little closer to the mid-upper north-central. But anyway, you're sounding good here, too. Thanks for the report. Like I said, I'm just using FreeSTAR and the iPhone here, and I know sometimes audio levels need to be adjusted, so appreciate your report. But yeah, we're going to do our deep fried turkey tomorrow. It's going to be the official big meal, although we've been eating all week. We got a house full here. We've had 16 or 17 full since Monday evening, so it's good to see our family. We don't get to see them as often as we like, but Thanksgiving's a pretty big deal for us, so got kids and grandkids here, and it's just having a great time. So you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I know it doesn't really apply for those outside of the U.S., but those in the U.S. that are listening to your net tonight, happy Thanksgiving to you all. God bless. Back to you, 73K5GC.
All right, Denny, thanks so much for the check-in. This is Nick, KN6DAL. Who else we got out there? Any and all check-ins? Come on in.
Mike moved to Town.
Yeah, that's right. It was just outside of Fayetteville. I had to look at a map because I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but cool. Anyway, it looks like we've got a member that just joined the Zoom chat. We've got Dawn here, K8DLL. How you doing, Dawn? If you want, you can just unmute your microphone, and I'll key up. You will be over the air, so make sure you use your call sign. But how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, guys. K7CBL sitting in the other room across the house from me, so he said check out the Zoom. So here I am.
So you're so he's your kin, is what you're saying.
That is my son,
Oh man.
the golden
Well-
child.
Well, you raised a decent kid. I'll tell you that much. He's been a pretty big contributor here, so we definitely appreciate having him, and it's good to finally meet you.
Yeah, well, he will forget more about radio than I will probably ever know. So he's so far advanced. Usually it's the other way around, right? It's the parent that knows more, but no, this is his livelihood. So
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think anybody in my family that's really interested in radio at all, and so I'm kind of taking the lead on that, and hopefully I can pass something. I think maybe my whole goal here is, because I have 3 little daughters. My goal is to get them so nerded out on radio that they never get into any trouble in high school. That's why I'm doing all of this. KN60AL for ID.
I don't think
that's a
how
good
it
point.
works.
It's a very good point. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a funny story. When he was about, I don't know, 2, 3 years old, somebody gave him for his birthday some National Geographic walkie-talkies. They were like 49 megahertz. Pieces of crap. Couldn't penetrate a bedroom wall. And he would run in the room, hand me his walkie-talkie.
No, we're not doing this. No,
he
we're
would
not
hand
doing
me-
this. We're live on YouTube. No.
He would hand me this walkie-talkie.
He's muted. Don't worry.
Yeah. He would hand me the walkie-talkie, and then he would try to go in the other room, and he'd say, "Dad, can you hear me? Over." Well, the funny part about it was this little radio was like milliwatts. And I could just say, "Yeah, I can hear you, bud." But he didn't understand. I could hear him standing in the hallway, or he would hide behind the sofa and say, "Dad, can you hear me?" So that's where I think his love of walkie-talkies came about. So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
It's blossomed into this. And then, as you can see over his shoulder there is actually one little spot in his room that's carved out where he sleeps or he nests.
Yeah. Yeah. And he never makes his bed. This is the first time I've ever seen it made.
He usually does. He usually does. He keeps as a teenager, he does very well to keep his room clean. We told him that's fine. We have a housekeeper that comes, but if she doesn't have to clean his room as long as he does. So he vacuums it and he keeps it very well. So we're very proud of him for that. So.
Oh, he's probably regretting every second of
I
letting you
know.
on here, but I think it's
You
great.
should
I
let
think
Dad
it's
on.
absolutely great. All right. Well, thanks for checking in. We're going to
All right, man.
we're going to take a couple more check-ins, and we'll see who's out there on the radio, and hang around, because we'll be switching over to Zoom here in just a few minutes, and then we'll kill all the repeater connections, and everybody can kind of just chime in over each other. But this is Nick, KN6DAL. Let's see who else we got out there for check-ins. Keep in mind there is a Zoom link posted in the YouTube chat, and you're welcome in anytime. We'll keep that door open for you. Let's see who else we got out there. Any check-ins? Come on in now.
Six, Echo Tango Romeo Mobile.
Well, we had a pile up there. Whew, first time on Antenna
Sierra Alpha
history.
3, Whiskey Echo Whiskey. Will,
Nick, you gotta
Ham
sort
Shack
that out.
Hotline.
All right, so I got two check-ins. I've got I think it was ETR and then Will, WEW. Let's take the ETR station first. Come on back.
This is November 6th, Echo Tango Romeo
Dan.
Mobile. Just arriving in Vacaville. Good evening, gents. Sorry I'm late. I will bring up Zoom as soon as I step through my front door.
Okay, perfect, Dan. I appreciate you checking in, and we'll see you here in a few minutes. And then we've got Will with a suffix of Whiskey Echo Whiskey. Come on in.
Good evening at control, everybody on frequency or listening along there. Name here is Will, Whiskey India, Lima Lima. Call sign is VA3, WEW, Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Echo Whiskey. And I'm in Newcastle, Ontario, Canada, on the Ham Shack Hotline. Just checking in.
Ham Shack Hotline.
All right. Well, I appreciate you checking in tonight, Will. You got any? So down here in the States, we have Thanksgiving tomorrow, so everybody's excited about stuffing their face and doing a whole lot of nothing all day long. Do you got any plans that mimic that, or do you have a hard day of work ahead of you?
Well, got a hard day of work ahead of us, whatnot. We had our Thanksgiving there back in I think it was the first or second week of October there. And we got our turkey and everything into us, whatnot, nice and stuffed up. And looking forward to the American Thanksgiving, of course, for the Sunday football game. But we'll have to see what happens. Anyway, back to net control from VA3WEW, Ham Shack Hotline.
All right, Will, I appreciate you checking in with us tonight, and I hope you have an awesome evening. This is Nick, KN60AL. Who else we got out there? Come on in.
I didn't know Ham Shack Hotline had Allstar.
Victor Oscar 1, India Victor, recheck if it's allowed.
Oh, it's absolutely allowed. We don't have any rules here. Come on in. How you doing?
Okay, I know I just checked in a moment ago, but a story that one of your members just said there about them little, the 49 megahertz AM handhelds. That's actually how my father introduced me to amateur radio. Well, not amateur radio, but radio in general, when I was really young, about 2 or 3 years old. And it reminded me that as a young kid, I kept trying to push the distance onto it. And I guess as I got older, I just got better equipment. back to net control.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, I have 2 kids. It's cool that you made that connection there. I have 3 kids, and the 2 older ones play with like little handheld radios all the time, and you know they have a couple ones that you kind of like what Dawn and you were describing. That really don't work at all. They just kind of like they're just there, and they just kind of have a button that lights up, and they just aren't very effective. But I have a few FRS radios that I hand them, and they can talk a little bit further away and stuff, and so they have a lot of fun doing that around the neighborhood. But appreciate you chiming in with that story. This is Nick, KN60AL. We got a couple minutes left. Let's see who else we got out there. Any other stations want to check in?
Imagine if those radios had SMA connectors on them.
Right.
The things that would happen with those radios.
Yeah. All right. No stations heard. We'll take one last call for check-ins, and then we'll turn the repeaters back, and we'll migrate over to Zoom. Any last check-ins? Want to check into the 2-meter crew anti-net and get your Thanksgiving plans out on the table? Come on in now or forever hold your peace. Last call for check-ins. Come on in.
K6SRV, Fairfield.
K6SRV. I don't recognize that call sign. Do you want to come back with your name, date of birth, address, and social security number? All available phonetics, please.
Make sure he says it slowly. Make sure to tell him send it at 10 words a minute.
Sure thing. Let me I got so many of them, social security numbers here. Let me just see which one I can. Oh, Paul Rodrigo. I got a Paul Rodrigo here that you can use. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Sorry I'm not there in person or in video world, but I'm coming in through RF. And Thanksgiving plans, food, family, and hopefully some radio. But that might not happen. Who knows? But food and family for sure.
I hear a baby.
Yeah, I wasn't paying very much attention to you, Servando, because I heard your daughter in the background saying "dad, dad, dad, dad." It was super cute. But no, just kidding. I hope that you guys have an awesome Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody stays safe. And next time, I expect for you to send me all of that in CW over the air. So work on that, and we'll see you next week. KN60AL. Any other check-ins? Come on in now.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure out how to do your DOB.
Well, I don't know what this is, but Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee. Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee.
Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee. This is Nick, KN6DAL, and what you have stumbled onto is the 2-meter crew anti-net. We're on every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 3 a.m. Thursday morning UTC. And by the looks of it, you keyed up through FreeSTAR. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you located at? I scared him away.
I was just wandering around, happened to see FreeSTAR had something going on, so I said, well, let me check it out. It's Robert, Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee in northwestern Sydney, a little suburb called Kellyville Ridge, about 45 kilometers from the central business district, like the Opera House and all that sort of stuff. So a bit on the edge of the urban sprawl, I guess. It is 25 degrees Celsius, which is a little bit cool for this time of year, but it's also a little bit wet. So it's been raining on and off all day today. So it is a cool, wet Thursday afternoon, I guess, in Sydney. Not sure what else I have to say, but thank you for taking my check-in. VK2DY, back to net.
Well, that's awesome. I think you're the first Australian check-in that we've had in quite some time, and I appreciate that, Robert. So tell me, does Australia celebrate any kind of Thanksgiving around this time of year? And if so, when is it? And how do you guys typically celebrate that?
Well, our seasons go the opposite directions yours do. So this is springtime here, so we don't really have any autumnal type festivals going on here at this point. There is really no holiday in November for Australia, so it's flat on Christmas from November 1st. But there is one part of Australia that celebrates American Thanksgiving. And it's a little island called Norfolk Island. It's about 1,000 kilometers off the coast into the Pacific. And it was actually, the settlers are mainly resettled from Pitcairn Island, from the mutiny on the Bounty. Settlers who originally went to Pitcairn were resettled into Norfolk Island. And they were a whaling station in the 1800s. So there were a lot of American whaling ships that stopped there, and they actually started observing Thanksgiving because of that. And so to this day, the whole island celebrates American Thanksgiving. So it's the only place in Australia that's celebrating today, unfortunately. VK2DY, back to net.
Well, that's interesting. I'll have to look that island up and check out exactly where it's at. But I appreciate you checking in with us, Robert. And we're here every week, so you're welcome back anytime if you want to pop in and say hi. And yeah, thank you. And thanks for connecting up to FreeSTAR tonight. This is Nick, KN6DAL. Let's do one more last call for check-ins. See if anybody's out there. Come on in now and say hi.
5 a.m.
I believe that was K5AN. How are you tonight? That was through P25.
Doing more or less okay. Heading up to see some family for Thanksgiving, but I have greatly enjoyed this last week. Got to do some moon bounce, some other stuff. Was good fun to play with, and just frankly at this point looking forward to being done for a bit.
P25 too. It's not just you, Nick.
Well, awesome. I hope you have a good, safe, and happy Thanksgiving, and I appreciate you checking in with us tonight. We have the Zoom chat filling up here, so I'll take one last one last call for check-ins, and then we will turn it over to Zoom. So anybody that wants to join in with the conversation, you're welcome in any time. There's links in the description on YouTube for that. And let's take one last call. Any other stations want to check in with the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net? Come on in now.
Yeah, his audio is really quiet on P25. He's probably got it set to something weird, noise canceling on a radio that doesn't really do it that well.
All right. Well, nothing being heard. This is Nick, KN6DAL. We're going to go ahead and shut this down. The Zoom chat will be open for a little bit if anybody wants to jump in and say hi. And appreciate everybody coming out tonight to check in. Be safe this holiday season and make sure everybody stays safe on Thanksgiving and enjoy some family time. We will return all these repeaters back to normal operation and shut this puppy down. 7-3 and have a good night.
Hour 26, Nick.
What did I do?
Hour 26 that we cranked out there on the Oh wait, hold on. 1 hour 2 minutes that we cranked out there on that one.
What do you mean?
Transmitter wise.
Oh yeah.
I was just looking at it. Yeah. Yeah, an hour and 20. Yeah, an hour and 2 minutes.
An hour and 2 minutes for what?
Transmit time. How long we've had the connection and we didn't have any issues tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I set it up way early this morning. Or early this evening.
Yeah.
I actually did it from my phone because I was out watching the kids. I was like, oh, I need to get everything set up. And I wanted to reboot the server because I was having those audio issues, but I think that was all my computer.
Yeah.
We got a couple new people on here tonight. And we've got Ryan's back in the house. And then we've got Aaron Abbott. How are you tonight? Oh, this is VO1IV from Canada. You made it on. What's going on, buddy?
Read that, Nick.
Turn that audio on. I can't hear a word you're saying.
Can't hear me?
Kinda. It's pretty low. Just scream into your computer as loud as you
can. How's that? Is that any better?
That's perfect, bud.
Yeah. This is like a $5 headset from like the dollar store. I'm amazed it works.
Where can you? I've never seen even a pair of headphones other than like the cheap little earbuds from the dollar store down here.
You're not looking hard enough.
Our dollar's not worth as much as yours anymore, I don't think.
Yeah. You're not California.
we're gonna tuck our tail in shame on that one. We kind of lost that race.
Yeah, it's not bad though. I've had them a couple months and had a few things, but no, they seem to be working okay. So whatever.
You know what's cool? Me and Mike, this was a couple years ago now. We were talking about Allstar, and Jason from Ham Radio TV actually made one of these, and I know Mike has done one too. But on Amazon for like $20, you can get these USB headphones, and you can connect it to a Raspberry Pi, and create a all digital radioless Allstar node. That you can literally, if you have it on a battery pack, you could walk around if you had internet connectivity and talk on any Allstar, just connected to a Raspberry Pi. And so Jason used it on this big long trip. He said it worked really well for him. And you can get those for like $20. It was kind of a cool idea.
Oh yeah, sounds pretty cool. Anyways,
I'll give you a compliment for someone who's really, like, I guess you could say an audiophile. For a dollar store or whatever pair of headphones, the microphone doesn't sound too far off of like Apple earbuds, which is like a standard in microphones, like low quality microphones, but like they still sound great. Yeah, like honestly it sounds pretty good, which is surprising.
Yeah.
But I do have a comment on that radioless node, Nick, is I've seen not the headphone ones, but I've seen the ones where like there's an RJ45 on the front. And like it's a microphone, and then you have to plug in a 3.5 millimeter to either your car stereo or an external speaker type of thing. I know you said it in the past. I'm actually curious, but I don't talk to Jason on a regular basis. But that would actually be cool. Did he ever put it in his Discord or something like that? Because then I can go hunt it down.
You know what? I think he did when he was building it.
Gotcha.
Mike had helped him set up the Pi build, and then he. Honestly, there's really not a whole lot to it. I mean, you just download an image, and then in I think it's RPT. It's somewhere in Asterisk. You just tell it that you're not running it through a
USB.
radio, that you're
How do you do PTT?
It's got a volume up, down, and some other button on it, and one of those buttons actually already is configured and works for the PTT, so it's golden.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that'd be cool if you could do it with like Apple earbuds. That would be cool, like just the old like dirty buds. Yeah, dude, that's cool.
You mean what I'm wearing?
Yeah, with what Frank's wearing. Yeah, see, look, the standard of normal microphones.
Yeah, the one that everybody has like 15 of them buried in a drawer somewhere from all the phones they've had in the past.
Right.
Until Apple went to the Lightning connector.
Yeah.
Dan showed up. Said he would be here.
What's going on, guys? Sorry I'm late. Had a couple beers at the brewery one town over. I'm here.
Priorities, my man.
Sorry, it's a tradition. So, what was tonight's topic? Just Thanksgiving or?
Just surviving Wednesday night. We don't know. We're
last
lost.
minute configuration.
Cool. Good deal.
And then Bert made it too.
Oh.
Made it.
Yeah,
I made
Bert.
it twice.
Made it twice. Yeah, I saw you drop out. I was like, there he was, and now he's gone. That's okay.
Yeah.
And then
Trying
Frank got his
to do
hotspot.
Wi-Fi from one computer was like getting interrupted in internet, and I was like, let me go upstairs, and I was like, wait, let me try this other computer, and I tried it down here again. So different computer.
Ethernet.
Yeah. You got any plans for
Wired internet.
Thanksgiving, Bert?
Tomorrow I'm gonna be working on the car because it conked out on my wife over the weekend, so it's like gonna be doing that. We actually won't go to we're gonna go to our in-laws up in Sacramento or over by Yuba City.
Yeah.
On Saturday for that Thanksgiving thing. But yeah. Hopefully I can do some radio stuff while I'm out there.
Cool, man. And Frank, so you came in through P25, so tell us about the setup. What did you do?
I bit the bullet and I finally got an DVM Pi-Star mixed hat thing. It's Mike. If Mike were in here, he could tell you exactly what it is because he's the one that
Did you build it or buy it?
Bought it.
Okay, gotcha.
It's
like what, the tiny ones, the like jumbo, not the jumbo spot, but the.
It's a variant. It's the same. Yeah, same.
It's a Raspberry Pi Zero.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's UHF, VHF, and full duplex.
Oh,
So
you
like
ended up getting the full duplex.
It's like $180 or something.
No.
The full duplex one?
On Amazon, it was like 125.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
So I do have something for you, Frank. So when they originally, and I just found this out today per one of my buddies.
Yeah.
When they and I guess this is for anybody, and I'm taking my buddy's word on this. So, but I do believe it. So when they originally made those quote dual band MMDVM boards, they originally are supposed to operate on UHF as well as 900, like borderline 800, top end 800, bottom end 900. And it's all based on the firmware of the little chip on the board. I bought one, and I'm gonna try to because I found a way to firmware flash it to get it to work on 900 because I'm curious about that. But when they stated quote dual band, like the original ones, it was actually UHF, what is considered UHF low, which is, ham band 440, and then UHF high, which is considered 900. And they originally were unlocked, so they actually would go out of band, which was kind of funny when I first learned about it. But yeah, that's what the original dual bands, and I've also heard some mixed things about like the VHF being like not even anything, like it doesn't even go through a couple of walls type of thing. So have you tested that with the portable on, I know you don't do VHF P25. I know you're mainly a UHF if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no, I have VHF P25. I have not tested VHF yet though. Mike said it was absolute garbage.
Yeah,
for
at that low
VHF,
of
so
power, UHF will be a prominent choice.
good. See if I can
Oh, it
get
looks.
this. Hold on a second. I can get the cables undone here. Sir.
Yeah.
You have antennas on it?
No, I had to take off the antennas to bring it over here.
Oh, okay.
I have
Gotcha.
it hooked up to an external antenna. I even got the OTG to Ethernet adapter
Ah.
because I was 1.0 to 2.4 BERs, and now with the Ethernet, I'm at 0.3 at most.
Are you running portable into the hotspot or
Yeah.
base station? So
Portable.
one thing I will state, and this is a big P25 thing, and Motorola specific, and I found this on my APX going into my hotspot. I actually had to go into the advanced or expert configuration, and I actually had to add 100 hertz shift off frequency, because I was finding even on low power, which is rated at 1.02 watts, which I've checked that on my APX, my bit error rate was super high, my BER, right?
Right.
And if I go in another room, it was fine. So what I did is I shifted 100 hertz off frequency, positive 100 hertz because it's simplex, and my BER was perfect. Like it was 0.2, which is the same as what my DMR is, and it all comes down to the effective radiated power out of your radio. If you overload the front end of the RF board, it will actually, your BER goes up. Most people experience that right away when they try to run high power on their radio close to it.
You know, that's the interesting thing. So I'm using my XTS 5K, right? It's working fine, high or low power throughout the house because that's how I have it set up. The mobile, the XTL 2500, I have everything separated far enough that no issues, right? Won't even key the hotspot.
It could either be configuration of the code plug, or it could be that it's too much power, because I found running 5 watts sitting right next to the thing, it wouldn't even light up. But then I would just turn it down to low power. Like if I go on high power right now, I'm sure it'll key it up. So anyways, let's move it on to let's see, we got everybody but Ryan here. Ryan, you wanna say something? Kind of just going round robin here based on the camera angles.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Going on, Ryan?
What's going on, Ryan?
Yeah, so I saw the Zoom link posted, and I was like, I'm gonna join it. I'm gonna see if they remember me, and they did. So that's great.
Of course, we remember you. We saw you at Field Day. Where'd you go, buddy? Ryan?
I think I hear him clicking his mouse.
His audio disconnected.
He probably, I don't know, turn on his camera, and if he's on Wi-Fi, Zoom on phones can die. We had a good turnout of check-ins. I guess we'll wait for him to reconnect, and we'll loop back around to him. We actually had a good turnout of check-ins tonight. Some what we consider DX, even though it's only digital. But yeah.
Well, Aaron, I guess you've got a repeater, right?
Okay, there we go.
Oh, you made it back, Ryan.
There we go. Okay, let me just.
Your camera is right on your face.
Hi.
Oh, there you go. You figured it out. Yeah, of course we remember you, man. You were at Field Day. You've checked in a few times. How's it going?
Good.
What are your plans for Thanksgiving?
Just have the family come over, because that's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really just family and sitting around and talking about things.
You gonna do any radio or anything?
About that, so over the past 2 days, I've been trying to get back into the radio thing, because of it's been months since I've turned on my radio. So I made a yesterday I think it was yesterday. I made a contact on FT8, of course, with some guy in Japan. That was pretty cool. And I got a couple more FT8 contacts, but I'm trying to get back into it because I've had the radio, off for months.
How far is JA from you guys? Over in California, about what, 5,000-6,000 K something?
I actually
How
don't
far is
know.
where from where?
JA, Japan from California.
Well,
just across the, like, it's an inch on a map, or like it's like 2 inches on a map.
we're ignorant, and we only know how to measure anything in miles. So if you're asking for kilometers, you're screwed.
Here,
I can work with either one.
And I got you. You ready? So I'm probably the closest to Japan in California. So Japan's that way for me. Like, where I'm pointing, it's that way. It's as far as I know it is.
4,800 miles to the,
I'm only
to
like,
the island there.
Yeah, I'm only like 47 something. I don't know what it is.
Okay, well, Japan is 6,712 miles to the north from me. I got to go over the north to work Japan from here.
Yeah, okay.
Pellin probably makes contact with Japan every morning.
Every time
over a cup of coffee.
I make contact with Japan quite a bit.
I know.
My dipole is north south, so I've got a pretty good radiating angle. But I've made a lot of contacts over the pole too, so it just a lot of it just depends on band conditions and stuff. But I was curious, Aaron, tell us a little bit about your repeater setup.
So we wanted to have a repeater here in St. John's or in Newfoundland that could be accessed into the Allstar system, because nobody here locally really wants to do anything like that. There's not a whole lot of local hams as there is, but not a lot wanted to do it. So myself and a few other guys, we went in and we got a secondhand, a High Terra something or other. It's a DMR analog, could be used for either one, repeater. So that's running 25 watts. It's just analog. We have a set of external duplexers. We didn't use the internal ones because of isolation between them wasn't very good. So we got a set of external duplexers, and that's running to Diamond X30 at about 600 feet above sea level, give or take.
I'm gonna give you props on that one, man. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna kind of diss on every ham in this in watching on YouTube right now. But man, hams sometimes don't know right from wrong. But running an external duplexer and running a relatively low. Is it high elevation? Like, is it a super high elevation site?
It's high. The coverage radius is at 25 watts, like 70 miles in either direction.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, man. Good on you and whoever else helped set that up, because most of those repeaters that I've seen that have built-in duplexers, I don't know if anybody's familiar with them, but the mobile duplexers, they're like
they're like little tiny
like
things.
that big. They're and they're a pain to tune. They don't have that great of isolation, and they're inside the repeater, so they heat up with the repeater transmitting. Yeah, good on you and whoever set that up, because that's the way to do it, and not throwing the best way I could put this is GigaChat antenna on it with the highest gain, and sticking with something with some nice, this sounds funny again, fat lobes on it. Yeah, man, that's the way to go. That's for real. Good props on that one.
Because like our AO. Like our area is really like up and down. I don't know if a lot of you guys or any of you guys are familiar with Newfoundland, but it's all rock, man. It's just rocks and water. So our area is not flat. There's not one level piece in this whole island. I swear to God, it's all like that, right? So we didn't want to put. We had access to a 4-bay, a UHF 4-bay folded dipole. And we were going to use it, but we didn't really know what way to point it because there's so much crap around. So we just went with the omnidirectional.
So
vertical, right?
I'll give you a tip with 4-bay folded dipoles. So most people are worried, unless you're trying to go for a directional output. Most people are worried about it being super directional. What most people don't know is that you actually can spin those folded dipoles, and you can make them into a 360 pattern, right?
You can
And
you
it's
can turn,
actually
you can turn the individual dipoles themselves on the one mast.
Yeah, that's so and it becomes a collinear antenna. It's still omnidirectional, except it has a little bit more. So it's not like just a wire and then any signal around that wire. This is super layman's terms, but signal going in, right? Because of it being somewhat directional, so you face one north, south, east, and west, right? You're gonna have your same effect of, an omnidirectional. It'll be a little different if you make a coverage map and you do it properly, but you get a little bit more gain, a little bit more directional about it. And like for me, my repeater to the west of my repeater is the ocean, right? So I don't need to really radiate power to the west. So I radiate, when I do it the way I want to, when I eventually put 4-bay folded dipole up, it's too cold and the weather's unpredictable to do it during the winter. The elements are going to be pointed north, south, and then northeast, and then southeast, and you'll have a kind of like a
I
90 degree, like 100, more like 120 degree, maybe 240 degree sector, and it won't radiate power to the west side, which means more radiated power that way. But that's something when it comes to when you do stuff like that, it really comes down to having like experimentation, and part of it is having knowledge, because most people don't know that, and it's actually a really effective antenna design. Personally, that's what I want to set up here at the house. It's really effective, but it's the same thing as a like a Diamond X30. It's basically omnidirectional, just I don't know. And they sometimes look a little bit more commercial if you're on a commercial site. Some site owners might get weird by seeing just a white fiberglass stick.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, look, Newfoundland.
Hold
hey,
on
there's my address.
Hold on a minute.
Oh, someone had my address
Nick.
up there.
Good job, Nick.
I'm gonna take it off here.
Yeah,
Is that I wanted to pull it up? I'm gonna take the pin off of there, but
well, you can keep the pin on. I don't mind that. I mean, it's up on QRZ.
Yeah, I was gonna say we know our hands.
yeah,
like,
cool. It's all public record, but let me see if I can.
Aaron, just to give you an idea, the general, like half of us from where we're at in the San Francisco Bay, it's about 8,200 kilometers to Tokyo.
Okay.
So you're out
on the
here.
Go up.
What's that?
Go up just a little bit. No. Zoom in. Yeah, zoom in. Zoom in on St. John's.
Yeah. So, but what I was gonna say, you called this an island. Is it technically an island?
Yeah. It's actually not connected to the mainland. Like this whole.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you see, right there. You see that passageway?
You are about as far away as you can get, buddy. That's crazy. Holy cow! So, what time is it in your time zone right now? 1.
We have local. Hang on.
1 or 2.
0127 local tomorrow, the 25th.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello from the future.
Yeah. He's in the
How
future,
far are
you
you from
guys. How
Oak
cool is
Island?
that?
What was that?
Oh, I had asked, hey, how far are you from Oak Island?
I don't know. I actually don't have a clue.
What was the question?
How far am I from Oak Island? I don't know.
Oh.
Let me,
I don't know.
like the TV show.
Yeah,
But,
Oak Island, not Oakland. We know where Oakland is.
Everybody knows where Oakland's at. You can't miss it on a map.
Oh, Oak Island is in Nova Scotia. It's the next province down, so just go south. A little more. Yeah, you see Nova Scotia there? That long, kind of ugly-looking stick
You already
running.
passed it, Nick. It's on the right
past
side.
it.
Hey, you know what? I'm geographically stupid, so
just go south, just a little south.
I
Yeah,
see
so you
it
see
Nova
that
Scotia.
long. So, yeah, so Oak Island is somewhere connected to Nova Scotia, very loosely connected to Nova Scotia. That's not even us. That's That's like the 0-calorie version of Newfoundland.
So what part of Canada is known for saying "eh" all the time? Eh?
That's over here.
Over here, eh?
Yeah, but there's a difference. So Newfoundland has Newfoundland English, which is just a whole mess of shit, right? The whole stereotypical A thing, I think that's more Manitoba and Saskatchewan in the middle there. Ontario doesn't know the rest of the country exists. Alberta is just covered in oil. British Columbia is just trees and weed. Quebec is just French.
Yeah, it's amazing that the country of Canada is huge. It's just huge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay, Nick. According to someone, Texas is as big as the United States alone.
Huh?
Yeah, no, I saw this the other day. Apparently, people believe Texas is the whole size of the United States all in itself.
It must be Texans that believe that.
No, this was not a Texan. And that's
Gosh, I hope.
I
I hope that's a politician. Yeah, I really do. I really do.
I'll have to find it and send it to you.
All right. Well, I thought that was kind of cool. So as far as your Allstar connection, you just are you running that on a virtual server, Aaron, or are you running that on a Raspberry Pi?
We're running that on a Lenovo ThinkPad that we flashed with Allstar Link Beta.
Okay.
And it's all LAN connected, gigabit up and up down, gigabit per second up down from the ISP, and that goes. I guess I'm not too heavy on the networking side. That's one of the other guys here in the club. I'm more the RF side of things.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, yeah, it's LAN connected, comes into the switch here in the shack, comes back out, goes on to the ISP, and does what it does.
Are any of you into other digital modes? Like, does anybody do DMR or YSF or anything like that up there?
There's one guy in the club who's really heavy into Yaesu Fusion, but there's no Fusion repeaters here to do it.
Right. So one thing you can consider is you can connect to like YSF reflectors, and you can actually link that through your Allstar. You can set that up so that you can run.
Oh no.
Are we gonna get into this?
Yeah, Nick, you want to connect back to me, and I'll do a demo of P25, and you can do Fusion, or I'll talk on the real radio and math. We can just do math.
We can just do math. So
yeah, we can talk about the weather.
I'm on what's your node number?
548-690.
Okay, so
and I'll mute my microphone.
All right, so right now I'm connected via Allstar to another Allstar node that Connor has. Now, my Allstar node is also linked to a DMR talk group, my DMR talk group, and my YSF reflector. Now, Connor has his Allstar node bridged to a P25 reflector. So he's going to key up and say something. Go ahead and just key up, Connor, and just ID.
Kilo 7, Charlie Bravo Lima testing. As you can see, RF coming into Zoom. It's going over Allstar. It's all magic in there.
So what he did was, and we both have very similar setups with exception of the DMR and YSF bridge that I have is hard linked. Or no, yours is. Do you have DV switch server set up on one?
So no. Yeah, no, I have DV switch on both of mine. So
you just have one permanently
mine.
Connected.
I'll explain mine because it's a bit like different than how yours is set up, Nick, and yours is a bit more involved, I would say. Like mine, for example, you want to talk on DMR and come out Fusion, I can do it. You want to talk on D-Star, well, actually, let's not include D-Star because who uses D-Star. But you want to talk on NXDN, which is like a Kenwood and Icon proprietary digital mode, and come out P25, you can do it. You can connect like any mode. Like I have a control panel up here, as Nick has on his screen as well, and that's why that's what he is when he's staring up.
Yeah.
He's looking at the control panel. And that's what when I look over here, I'm looking at a control panel. But Basically, mine is two Allstar nodes talking to each other, but one of them is tied to an external or a program that runs on the same instance of Allstar. They're tied to each other so that when the Allstar node keys up, it goes out digital, and then similar in a response back when the program that we use called DV Switch, which Nick can show right now, it's like a virtual digital radio that does every digital mode, right? So that's like the virtual radio. So that's how you see, like, if that makes sense, that's like connected. That is full-time connected to an Allstar node, which then you just selectively say what you want it to, connect to, which is, it's a whole process, and it's not easy in my opinion. I'll say that. For certain people, it is easy, but it's not something that you sit down and do in 20 minutes, and unless you're like super smart with how to do all that type of stuff.
No, it would take some time, but here's the thing. You could set something up where you and the group of people that you're with could integrate this to linking your repeater up to any digital mode that you wanted, right? So let's say you had a group of friends that had DMR that were, frequented a talk group, and you wanted to link that up to your repeater so everyone in your area could talk to them. You can do that by putting this program on your Allstar node, and it's just really interesting to see all the different integrations that you can do to make it work. And Connor and myself have had tons of help from other people in our group, in our circle of friends that have shown us how to do this. And, we're excited to pass that along. If anybody wants to learn how to do it, we want to, try to help people learn how to do it. And he's right. It's not without it's a lot of like getting everything set up, but once it works, it's cool. It's the coolest thing because I can literally connect anything to so many different systems. And like, if you look right now, or not now, but when we were running the net, this was our bubble chart tonight. And so this was
doesn't show
FreeSTAR.
digital connections.
That
like
doesn't show
DMR, P25, nothing.
No, it doesn't show.
Our repeater XMT is in that bubble somewhere.
Yeah, and so how often are you linked to FreeSTAR?
We're 24/7.
Oh, perfect, cool.
Yeah, continuous link.
Yeah, so let the people know. I mean, it's probably kind of a little bit late over there when we start. I think it's either midnight or 11 o'clock. Or no, yeah, it's midnight. So if anybody's up late or wants to hang out, they're always welcome to come over. We got connected with FreeSTAR originally through Mike, who WG5EEK, who had it linked during different nets that they had. And then I got connected with Oscar and Bruce and Shane and everybody, and we just kind of hit it off from there. So we've always been able to just stay connected and kind of fed off of each other. But it's unfortunate it's in the middle of the night for them, so we don't get a ton of traffic from their system just because a lot of people are asleep right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, like locally, there might be 5 or 10 hams awake, if that.
Yeah. And
right.
Unless it's New Year's Eve, then they can't even get enough check-ins through. It's so crazy on New Year's Eve.
I checked in last year. I was doing security work. After I got out of the military, I didn't really have much to do, or I didn't know what to do. Still kind of don't. But I was doing security work, and they had the GB something or other, GB 2021 big New Year's Eve thing. They're checking in. People checking in from everywhere. I came in through my phone, through Echolink, that was patched into the FreeSTAR somehow through, I actually think it was DV Switch. So yeah, I know it was crazy. It was running for, I think it was 2 or 3 hours actually.
Yeah, it's funny. We talk a lot about connected repeaters when we're on the anti-net, because we're long-winded. We'll talk and talk and talk and talk. And the repeater system that we link to originally is a home club to many of us, and a repeater out of Vacaville, California. And that repeater system has like a 15-minute timeout timer, so you can just talk and talk and talk and talk on it, right? And what we were finding is the more connections we had, we would time things out and cause problems. Well, we try to be really careful, and so I've set some different timers that unkey me at about 3 minutes, because it's really hard to, like, for instance, we don't see your repeater, but your repeater is connected through an Allstar node somewhere, and there's many other Allstar nodes connected in that map right now that are linked to a repeater that are going out everywhere, and so it's really easy to shut those repeaters down by accident, and we got to be careful of it.
Yeah, our timeout on ours, I think, is 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So that seems to be the standard I've noticed for stuff.
Yeah. So if you're ever looking at any kind of data on it, and we're the ones that are blowing that thing up in the middle of the night, so don't worry. It's just the old 2 meter crew having at it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like I said, man. I put it up there for it to be, transmitting. So give it to her.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
See what it can do.
I got its uptime is 21 days and 13 hours since the last power cycle.
Mm-hmm.
In the past 21 days, it's keyed up 21,331 times for a total continuous transmit time of 4 days and 14 hours. So
pretty cool.
Well,
you can see those stats.
Yeah, that's cool. Half of that was Frank sitting on his microphone, but the other half of that's legit.
So I put like a little note. 50% duty cycle.
Yeah.
I'll put I will say something though. Back on that topic of Back on the topic of the MMDVM or the DV switch stuff, is like Nick, for example, he's running it right now on how many Raspberry Pis, Nick? You got like 3 or 4 there, right?
I've got 2 on my server block, but they're all being controlled through the one web interface.
Yeah. So mine, I don't have any external hardware. I don't have any Raspberry Pis. It's all virtual machines, right? So when I key the radio, and I don't know how bad this is going to sound, but we're just going to go for it. So I have a foot switch on the floor, right? So I'm going to be talking through this mic. K7 CBL testing. That, what you just heard, was me keying via a program called IAX, keying the Allstar node, which then Nick's connected to, which then we have the RF connected to, right? So, like, for me, it's called the headless operation, similar to how we were talking about the USB headset Allstar node thingy earlier. It's a similar setup in a way, except, like, well, everything's virtual. Like, I don't actually have any Raspberry Pis set up as Allstar nodes to do my whole setup. So you can, if you have a powerful computer, you can do it for free, and that's just Windows with any virtualization software that you know how to use. I use VirtualBox, and I have 4 virtual machines running with all my different stuff on it. So
well,
there's so many different paths.
I'll tell you what I'm using for computers. The one I'm on now is a 2014. It was Windows 8, got upgraded to Windows 10. I picked that up in 2014. That's running. This is the main HF terminal for doing really PSK, FT8, all that fun shit, my logbooks, stuff like that. The other computer is Windows 7. That's just pretty much running a monitor with a map on it. And the computer I use for programming stuff, the Motorola Gear, is DOS 6.2. And that works. So that's what I'm running here.
Nick,
look at this antenna, dude. Talk about problems. Talk about problems.
Hold on. I think Frank and I have a question, so Nick might want to mute himself because he might start screaming. What do you have for Motorola equipment?
I used to have a shit ton, like a literal shit ton of Motorola gear.
You threw it all away because it's trash, right?
No, I didn't throw it away. I moved. And
Connor, you can mute him, right?
Yeah, I think I can mute Nick. Hold on.
I got into the military and I had to sell off a lot of my stuff and leave and do that. But I got into the military and I got a few things. I got a few handhelds there, a couple GM 300s, MCX 1000, a few other small things. I got a homebrew rig interface.
Frank's probably got more stuff radios than I do. I have more tools and accessories and crap. I think Frank's Frank's the winner when it comes to radio wise.
He just needs a set of headphones. That's all he needs.
Do you know? I got him. Connor, you know file boxes, right?
What? Wait,
you know file boxes, right?
What about it?
I could fill 5 of those with GM300s, another 3 with max tracks of various bands.
I'll take a VHF if you got it.
I have a few, actually. You need DOS for them, though, Nick.
I got DOS.
I got DOS. Windows 95 runs on DOS.
Nick's
right?
brain is on DOS.
my brain is on DOS.
That's for dissing on Moto right there. Your brain.
Hey, you know what? I've got a couple Motorola. I've got this node right here. This node, this first node is an HF or a RF node. It's connected to a Motorola right now, and it's on. So
you mean it's connected to one of these, Nick?
Yeah. It's ready to rock.
Just grabs one, just.
But that's the whole thing, Aaron, is like we basically kind of started this whole thing a couple years ago in the hopes that we could just bring more people into the hobby and give them a place to be excited, and we wanted something that could kind of integrate whatever anybody was interested into, and so that with the way we all kind of set up our Allstar nodes were to make that integration possible. So you can disconnect or connect anything. Like this one is an RF node, so I could broadcast or transmit in my area, and then this one is linked to Echolink. So if I wanted an Echolink connection hooked up, this is just an all digital node that I use to connect to various things. Like I'm connected to Connor, and then this one here is actually a different server, which is connected to that DV switch dashboard there, and then that last one is just the DMR and YSF connections. But you can, if there's a problem with one, you can pull it down, and there's all kinds of different stuff you can do. So if you really want to nerd out on it, you can get going.
Oh yeah. So my repeater, VO1XMT, that's 43085. If you guys wanted to come in, connect through mine anytime, feel free. It's open on both sides. So
awesome. Well, cool, man. Before it gets too late, I'm going to say 7-3 to all the people on YouTube. We'll keep the Zoom chat going for just a little bit longer, but to all of you out there in YouTube land, I hope you have a safe and happy Thanksgiving and enjoy your family. So have a good night.